Hey guys, I just want to come to you quickly to talk to you about something serious. I didn't want to keep it too serious. I want to make it lighthearted because of this stupid COVID lockdown thing, or if you have a stay at home, whatever you might have, quarantine. Um, there's an epidemic of mental health, and I think that single moms such as myself who live by themselves, who've always lived by themselves, by the way, um, really are going to be one of the most endangered by this. And one of the things about, I got these earrings from Shine, by the way. Thanks so much. Shein, that store online is just, these Naga snakes are wonderful. But anyway, one of the things that we don't often talk about is predatory behaviors that increase with things such as stay-at-homes. I saw like someone standing out in the street the other day. I was picking up my daughter from work. A whole group of people. They just didn't know what to do with themselves. A lot of times people confuse working with emotional intelligence or having high levels of emotional intelligence, and that's incorrect. Keeping up appearances, wearing suits, doing things as a yes man, or just basically status quo. And they perceive people to be the opposite who don't necessarily follow status quo, and that is also incorrect. But what I'm saying is, a lot of these people may not be mentally stable, especially, unfortunately, some males. And if you're a single mom, such as myself, single mom strong, um, and like I said, I've always lived by myself, but I've noticed the escalation of violence towards women within the past, I'd say 5 to 7 years. It's been just absolutely awful. Okay, so we have individuals and their wives and their partners because unfortunately, in this day and time, we can't even discount that, who have mental health issues and who may or may not, for whatever reason, be jealous, have issues with abuse at home, and they are using transference to handle those issues and are in some ways feeling that taking it out on single parents is the way that they resolve their issues. Okay, this is something that when people are at home who don't really necessarily have the best mental health, this is something that escalates that process. So this is something that we need to talk about where single parents are concerned because we don't want to be victimized by people who are predators under normal circumstances who become even more predatory under these circumstances. Pretend Bill or Bob up the street who pretends to be in a relationship with you, but is really married and unhappy, or just a lonely, schmuck, for lack of a better word. It's not going to get any better when he's sitting at home wondering what you're doing and pretending that he can be with you. You know what I'm saying? He's going to break into your home. He's going to, while you're sleeping, pretend to sleep beside you if he breaks in there. And he's going to go around town pretending he's the man, or this lockdown situation is some sort of abusive situation towards women. We must think outside the box, um, like a person who is mentally unstable. And that's the hard thing about you to contextualize, right? Like Du Bois used to say, W.E.B. Du Bois. Some say Dubois, but I know French, so I'm just going to say Du Bois because I think that's how he pronounced it. But yeah, like as he said, it's Du Boisian double consciousness, right? You have to think like they think, whether it's racism, sexism, where Black women are concerned, it's intersectional, which means it's both. So we have to be smart, and even to contextualize single parenthood within that, because of the hypersensitivity of um, men with low self-esteem and even their partners. Okay, we can't discount women in this. And you think I'm being sexist? I'm not. Because there are many, many women with low self esteem that will join in and jump on the bandwagon if they feel like they get attention from it. And it is sad. But one thing you can do about that is to stop internalization from both. Okay, stop the fantasy. This is not a fantasy. We are real people. We have emotions. We humanize our emotions. I just put on Twitter that we humanize ourselves and our emotions. Um, and we should do that more where women are concerned because it helps for people to understand we are not here to be someone else's fantasy, a substitute for a new car because you have problems with your masculinity. We aren't in competition with you because you feel like you're lonely and you want someone to bother. You aren't able to approach most Black women, such as myself, on a daily basis. So don't start thinking you can approach me now. It's no different. If you could approach me before, you can approach me now. And don't pretend like you could approach me because you can't. A lot of times, people who are jealous just do things out of meanness. And they think that this whole situation is just, oh, it's jealousy. It isn't. It's transference. A lot of times, they've had abuse as children. They've had abuse from their spouses or their partners. A lot of times they have low self-esteem from these areas and they project it onto other people. And a lot of times they believe their own bull. And I won't curse, but let's just say bullish. And then they come after you. And I'm telling you, you come after me, you coming after the wrong one. Because I can read you like a book. I read through people so fast. And I call people out even faster. If you're a bull ass artist, don't come over here. I find it so demeaning when people lie on people who obviously are the opposite. And because they're Black women, people want to believe that crap. And during situations such as this, it escalates that fantasy. Don't think that it doesn't. I mean, these people actually go on social media and pretend. I don't know what they pretend. I just unfollow them. Or if I am following them, or if they try to follow me, I just block them. Because I'm like, are you serious? And get up in your DMs, I don't know, with all kinds of stuff. Oh, you look so good, and trafficking and all kinds of stupid stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I'll let you know. Block. Because we're not dealing with reality here when we sit down here and pretend along with men who have low self esteem. If we perpetuate a fantasy along with a man, that makes you no better than a piece of crap that falls on the earth, that a dog leaves. And I'm serious. I am not anti men. I am not cisgender women have more privileges, but I will stand up for Black women. I will stand up for women and mothers, cisgender women and mothers, because you will not take that from us. You will not deny us what we've earned. This is not privilege. This is not status. This is just being human. And I think all women who participate in that behavior, you're on notice right now. And all men, you're being warned. I don't have any clue. I mean, people are talking about domestic violence and sending messages, and people are posting pictures with guns, both men and women. I don't have any clue why the government keeps ignoring this factor. You can die just as fast from a perv breaking into your home and following you around than someone from, that dies from COVID-19. They're both just as deadly. And as far as I'm concerned, we need to make this clear that this will not be tolerated, that an escalation of violence from people with low intellect and problems with emotional intelligence is not acceptable. Not now, not ever. It's something that needs to be talked about. And I sincerely hope that in the future we will do that. Again, I hate it to be so serious because I'm trying to keep it lighthearted. I mean, you see my hair? Oh my God. Yeah, I have to homeschool my son. I have to pick up my daughter. I'm still busy. Even though I'm staying at home, I'm still busy. Still have a life. I still have kids. I still have things to do. And I still have to make sure that my life is not affected by someone else with mental health issues. One thing about these people, these types of people, their whole phenotype, their whole destiny, their whole ideal of what reality is so skewed. They have no sense of reality. They just want to stay and play land. Everything to them, as long as you go along with it, it's going to be play and true. They're going to pretend to be your man. They're going to pretend to do this. Now I'm paying your bills. You're staying in the house. I told you. These men have psychological problems. Single moms, look out for yourselves. Seriously. Don't let this whole thing escalate into a situation where we're sitting here having to get guns ourselves to protect ourselves against these predators. They're mentally ill. They're mentally ill. And there's no stigma around mental health. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to make you more aware of what needs to be done and what needs to be said around what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm going to keep trying to stay positive. But it's a little difficult sometimes. You're like, did this situation actually escalate mental health issues? Someone was saying, I was watching a video last night that this situation with COVID was to cover up something else, maybe Epstein type pedophilia or trafficking. You know, we must keep these things in mind, even though they are very hard to grasp. You have some very simple individuals. Don't ever discount the fact that people are very, very, into their own world until you wake them up. And that is unfortunately part of our responsibility. It's a wake up call. So, anyway, I'm going to talk to you guys later, and I appreciate your time. Bye.